Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 4 of 2021 Split Persona Studios commentary. We're here with just one person today. Jason, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Jason, and I am, in fact, at least one person. I've been a friend of Rob's for a fair while, and he is a very kind, intelligent, and creative person, and I encourage you to support his work. He is awesome.
If I haven't said this before, I do like when I love how you introduce me. I say, like, yes, you are this type of person. It's just so... I don't know if I said it before, but like I love it how you do this, and thank you just for always being the one to, be the guy who's like, yeah, he's so cool and very, very creative, and you should see him. All his
Wouldn't
work.
say it if I didn't mean it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so yeah, we couldn't get anybody else to come today. They were just time scheduling was just not in the cards this week, and my work schedule is just crazy that we only got one person today. All others are just busy. So this video, so this one's called Opposite Day, and Jason, in your childhood, have you ever done anything with Opposite Day?
Not actively, but I do know what it is.
Like you haven't had like a day where you decide to do like an opposite day where you decide to do like the opposite of what you've you kind of like as a kid, like, oh, it's opposite day, you just claim it and just done the opposite of what you always normally don't do.
Well, if I had an opposite day, then I would probably do all the things I didn't want to do instead of the things I did want to do, and I figured, that would probably kind of suck, so I never did anything of the sort.
I think I may have had it as a kid. I can't remember, but I know whenever there was the only thing I remember of Opposite Day was that one SpongeBob episode where titled Opposite Day, where we kind of do the hints where Squidward was trying to, for those who haven't watched it, you should. The older shows of SpongeBob, the older seasons are the best. But essentially it was just, Squidward got tired, wants to sell his house, and in order to think that to make his neighborhood seem so grand, he tells SpongeBob, oh, it's opposite day. And he literally does everything opposite. So I thought, let me check if everything was an opposite day. And so far, no one really has done it quite like this, where for me, I had to film everything exactly how it is, then rotate my screen 360 degrees, like 180 degrees, so it was all flipped. So it was either that or I wanted to do opposite day where I film a sketch and I think I originally wanted to make a sketch and reverse it, where I start at the end and I end with the beginning. But I didn't know how to do it, and with the program I currently use, it didn't look right. So I made it sound like, so this guy made a wish where it was opposite day, and it being opposite day, meaning that, it's kind of like mirrored.
Well, most YouTube artists, such as yourself, have a pre-established process that they tend to walk through in all their videos. Sometimes they include a specific introduction, a catchphrase or two, or something like that. And sometimes they do these things in a particular order and leave with a pre-established outro, so to speak. So for an opposite day approach, you might have just simply reversed your process, but gone through the same steps.
Right. I think it was either that or I would have done the sketch normally, but rendered the sketch so that time would have reversed itself. Because you could render it so it like turns back the clock. So instead of having to literally try to fake yourself walking backwards and try to say the words and reverse, it would just do it for you. Now this one is a continuation with the weekdays. So last time it was Monday, and this is just here are the other 3 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I had to make each day not only have a different colored shirt, but have a different tactic. Try to upload a different video on Robert's channel. And I think for Monday, I posted that a video on a Monday. Tuesday, I posted it on a Tuesday, etc., etc. So I think for a good chunk of October, I think I had a video come out 2 days a week, like 2 days per week.
All right.
So for this one, I think it's like, oh yeah, so gay. I finally got to the computer, and I have a CD. And it was funny how I managed to do a CD, because in my old computer, I actually had where I could either do a USB port, but also I had a DVD player so I can watch movies on my computer. And I could also if I had certain software that I needed to download onto my computer, I could easily do it. Back before, when I had probably like pre 2011 esque software, or like there was like, I think my own printer had something like that, where back in the day you had to go and put in a CD and it would download the files that you would need to allow the printer to recognize it on the computer, so you could print something or scan it or anything else you may need it to be. It was interesting just to have that there.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one, it was kind of continuing with the whole thing with the monster, like the Knock Knock series, but it's kind of started becoming a little, how would you say it? Old. He had the
Have you ever seen the old Land Shark Saturday Night Live skit?
Oh, I've seen what?
The Land Shark Saturday Night Live skit.
I have not.
It immediately popped to mind when you said that you were dealing with a monster and that knocked on doors. See, the land shark would essentially knock on doors and pretend to be a normal person. Then people would open the door, and the land shark would eat them in the skit, and then it would try the same thing with somebody else. And usually, and sometimes people would be cynical and say, "I don't believe you're such and such person." Then the land shark would make something completely else up, and eventually they would open the door, and the land shark would eat them.
Huh. Well, in this case, it was something where you never saw the monster, but you knew it was there. Like, when you went for Knock Knock, it was actually a burglar. If you remember, from the second record, from like March through, April through June videos, where Knock Knock, it was actually a robber or a murderer who came in to try to kill Robert, but didn't when Robert screamed like a girl. Then there was going down to the basement, where I want to say there was a knock knock. There was like a knocking, or there was something else that was haunting him, but it wasn't a monster. It was I think the door itself. I think for this one, you could say that there is a monster in the closet. This one was more, I guess, inspired by a little of Monsters Incorporated. Because there's a line in here where I do a joke about Monsters Incorporated. Because I think at this time I was watching new Monsters, the new Monsters Inc. series that came out. What was it? Monsters at Work came out. It was supposed to be a. Have you seen that one?
Not in a long time, and I only saw little bits and pieces of it back in the day.
It's one of like the.
But I do know what Monsters Inc. is.
Well, yeah, because well, they had Monsters Inc. and then they had Monsters University.
I apologize. I'll be right back.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess for everybody else, then they had Disney Plus. They had Monsters at Work, which was a good series, and it kind of just went like that, and.
Sorry, I just had a phone call, but it's nothing urgent. I'll answer it later.
Oh, all right. As I was saying, like basically the idea with like the whole Monsters, they had like Monsters Inc., Monsters University. Then when Disney Plus came out, they had a little series that would have been kind of like a sequel series to Monsters Incorporated. That would come out right after the movie. That would be the transition from them being a corporation that would be on Scare Power and transition to Laugh Power. It was like a good 8-10 episode series. It's if you have Disney Plus, it's a good show to watch. Most of the cast returns, and there's like a whole new group of people who come in and are the main focus, while the original cast are like the secondary people.
I see.
But for going with this one kept with the whole thing where I would improvise Robert's lines, and I would literally just create the story, and then I would only do a small snippet shot on the closet, and I would reuse the shot of the closet, and I would then go and link with the monsters lines from whatever Robert said to the in between, let's say Robert line A to Robert line B. Monster line A would be whatever that would be something that would link the other two lines together. So it would technically be a conversation, just be a conversation in post and editing. And this was kind of around the month where, in October, where I think for the first part, I was really running out of stuff to do. And it wasn't my fault. It's just, at the time, I couldn't think of something good at the time, and I was a bit busy, and it's one of those things where, it's the first thing that comes to mind. Do I think it's a good idea? I don't know. I need to go do it and get some content out. You know?
I do know.
Yeah, it's kind of I guess in the writing process where it's you think something's good, and then after a while it's is it really? But I do like the little twist that I put in here, where you see the little you see, he's looking in the closet trying to see he doesn't want him to open the door, so then he does it anyway just to get it over with, and then you see who exactly he was talking to, and it's just a little Foxy.
What's up, Foxy?
Just there, he's Arg.
So were you the monster?
It's I was doing it. It was just me.
Did you want to come out and play with the other guys?
If anything, this is probably one of those times where I wish I also put dialogue for him, because that would have been funny as well, just to figure out what he was actually saying instead of just saying Yarg. Because you almost have to wonder what he was talking about.
Well, I mean, you were clearly concerned about a monster, but once you realized it was just him, it was just obviously no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be scary, but he's a familiar cuddly kind of scary that you can deal with.
Well, it's also a nice callback to one of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, because in one of the games you're in a child's bedroom, and Foxy, funny enough, is hiding inside a child's closet. So it's a nice little motif to that little mechanic in the game itself.
Never did, in fact, play the game, so that is interesting.
Yeah, I have the games. They're so fun, but they can be scary. And for the fourth game, you had to they utilize you had to really listen. It's kind of like the listening mechanic, because they really relied on your sense of hearing to like see if there is a monster behind certain doors, because it was entirely dark and you had a flashlight to guide you. I could go on and on about that, but this video, Wednesday, for this one, this guy was, oh, well, the first two failed, so I'm gonna have a disguise. And this one, so like, it was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna try to succeed where the other one failed. So the first one, oh, I failed because I was trying to upload a video. Tuesday failed because I didn't have the right thing to import a video in, like a CD instead of a flash drive. This one, oh, I have a disguise, it's poor, and I have a flash drive, but it's not the right flash drive. And it's kind of like that, and it's great how when you see the calendar guy, you see that, oh, he actually has the correct one. So it's almost like they're he knows what's going on, and each character is trying to learn from the other. The mistakes is like, oh, I know what someone did, so here's what I'm not gonna do. So I like that little progression in their storylines, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a nice little thing to put in there.
I see. Neat.
Yeah. And that mask, I had that mask for a while, but where did I get it? I think I got it at Bergen. I was at Bergen one of the 3 years I was there, and I think it was either Pride Club or one of the clubs. They had they were doing something with Mardi Gras, and they had like the colored masks somewhere. And for me, I just took one and I just kept it. Doing nice stuff. Ninja vanish. Love it how he just vanishes.
That was a good ninja vanish.
Just ninja vanish.
Just meld it into the floor there.
So the question is, when they sink down, where do they go?
Ninja space.
Is it like the dark dimension, where it's just like some sort of like weird space where everybody just sits there?
Have you ever heard of Hammer Space?
No, I haven't.
Let me just look it up and explain it to you. It's probably, if I get a clearly defined explanation, it'll help.
Alright. While you do that, I'll explain a little bit of this. So this one. This was, I think, the last one of this little series at the time, because... So, like, monster under the bed, because I had to continue where there are always monsters, so you had, like, monster behind your bed, like, your one door. The monster in the basement. The monster in your closet. And then you have the monster under the bed. And this one is like, well, I had, like, monsters doing all that stuff and everything, so why not just throw in there where I had a monster where I'm okay with living with, but he's just having a nice little party. When you have like those annoying neighbors like right next door, and you bang on the doors, and you're like, hey, I know you're having a party, but can you please keep it down? And he's like, oh, sorry, dude. And it's like, Nick was like, come on, man, the music's not even loud. It's like, my room knickknacks are twisting and turning and moving because of how loud your speakers are blasting the music. Or something like that.
So have you
And
ever
it's
watched
like,
Looney Tunes and all of a sudden they have this really, really, really big hammer and they just slam it for a gag or something?
yes.
And like, where the hell did they get that hammer? It must have been really tiny in their pocket or something. So that's what hammer space is. It's a small little pocket dimension outside of reality where you could store ridiculously huge objects that you shouldn't be able to carry, like hammers. So
So like,
ninjas go into
so like
ninja space.
Wacko's, Wacko's gag bag from Animaniacs.
Exactly.
Okay.
So ninjas go into ninja space
that makes a lot of sense.
it's just a little space outside general reality where they store themselves until they're ready to ninja poof back into reality.
So are you saying that in a D&D context that all the Looney Tunes have a bag of holding?
Yes, that's what I would be saying, or perhaps more accurately, sometimes a portable hole, which was of course directly taken out of Looney Tunes, but it still existed in D&D.
True. For those who are not D&D enthusiasts like ourselves, the bag of holding is a magic item that you can collect in any of the games if your DM has it, where it's like a little satchel that has an extra dimensional space where you can fit anything and everything inside, up to what, like a 500 cube space or something, or just like any amount. It's like Mary Poppins' bag in Mary Poppins.
Yes.
It's basically just that, but smaller.
Now it has a limited size amount, so you couldn't like store, say, a large building in it or anything like that, because the building wouldn't necessarily fit in or out of it. But you could. But as far as raw quantity goes, you could store any number of things in it. You could store 1 billion ball bearings in there if you wanted to, as long as you were willing to take them out a few at a time or put them in a few at a time.
Yeah, I want to know. As much. None of my characters have ever held a bag of holding. So far,
It's
I
a
think
good
in one of
utility
my
item.
games. So far, I have one of my players currently, I think, have a bag of holding or want a bag of holding. Actually, I think he has one. Yeah, I think my artificer has one. Yeah, or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. We can talk about D&D another point, but D&D's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, actually, I'm going back to my D&D video. I think who was it? I think it was a comment who someone put. It's like more D&D videos. I'm like, okay, someone likes D&D. Who's the commenter? It's Andrew Duncan. It's like, of course you would ask me for more D&D videos. Like, well, I can't make them every time. I could, but that's not my channel. Actually, I wonder how I could. But I could make a lot of D&D videos. I know there are guys who do a lot of D&D like videos, and they mostly started off with doing almost like a D&D-esque video in a mobile RPG, like an RPG setting, like a video game setting, like computer game setting. I don't know.
Have you considered doing a D&D theme video just in your general style?
Like, what do you mean?
Like you've got your basic DM character, and you've got your say your magic user character, your cleric character, and your fighter character, and your roguey character, and they all go on their little adventure in your house and fight scary monsters to save the day.
No, I haven't. Mainly because I don't have one of anything. And I don't have outfits for them. Besides my ranger.
So if you were going to be a fighter, then you would need protection. So you put a little pot or a pan on your head. And And if you're a rogue, you need a lockpick and a knife. So you get a little pair of tweezers and a steak knife, and you're good. And wizards like their books, so all you need to be a wizard is a book and a pointy hat.
Alright, I may be able to do something. Maybe like one of those. I may be able to do something. That may be something I can work on.
That might make Andrew happy.
Maybe. I know but I know he'll be happy if I ever continue to get that that one series that's based off Rob makes a character. Or Rob built a character. If I get that series started off. Or I think I'm waiting for 3 people to help make their videos. And I'm also waiting for them and probably some extras to help make 3 episodes of the series. So then I can make a Kickstarter to help raise enough money to, I think, make season 1. I need money to make season 1. I need like several thousands of dollars to fund for season 1. I think I did the exact calculations, but I do need a lot of money to do this, to pay for costumes, crew, and all that stuff. So I would need people.
All right.
And I also need to write season 1. So more on that later. For this one, this is right here was like the last part of it for the weekdays of the week.exe. At this point, I also wanted to try doing one for Friday, but I really didn't want to because I already technically did Friday for the missed video where I did like, oh, I missed an upload from like the couple weeks before. All right, this one was a pain in the butt. So this one was going based off the idea that I had a lot of ideas that were technically either good ideas or bad ideas. So I needed to make a video. So I wanted to make a video where...
You mean like Mr. Skullhead does on Animaniacs?
Yes. So I made a video where it was like, oh, well, what does it look like where Robert is looking, it's kind of like daydreaming and looking in his head, where he's trying to come up with a video and, let's say, visually seeing what his characters look like. Kind of being like, oh, like here's kind of like a funny concept of how he decides on what videos are allowed to be put on YouTube. You know?
Yep, I follow.
So for me, it's like, all right, let me visually do it. So some of these are actual real ideas I had. Like this one idea is actually, it's a bad idea, bad costume, but it's an actual idea where it's called The Last Elf, where it technically is a spin-off to a video that a creator who I love did about Santa Claus, how the idea where one day Santa Claus goes missing, which it says in the character, and the elf, who does have elvenly powers, decides to go rogue and try to find Santa Claus, and does like the whole like Mission Impossible-esque story just to try to find him. I'm like, okay, that is a good story. So this is like one of those ones where it's like, all right, that's like one of the ideas I can do. And this one right here, was another one idea. So I think I say it a couple of times on this channel where I do a lot of Nerf stuff. So adult nerfing where I play with Nerf guns. And one of the things we do is a game called Humans vs. Zombies, where it's you have to survive in a post-apocalyptic, kind of like Walking Dead scenario, or Night of the Living Dead with zombies. And we had an idea where it was supposed to be Walking Dead, zombie apocalypse, but all the zombies and the kind of like the logic behind all the zombies was supposed to be based on Humans vs. Zombies, where all the zombies were like the ones in the game, and all the guns were, and how you would get rid of all the zombies were using Nerf guns. So essentially it would just be Walking Dead but Nerf guns.
Okay.
And that's kind of like the idea where I really wanted to use.
Hey guys, present day Robert. Kind of wanted to pop in to say that this would have been a good series where the whole Nerf community would most likely jump on board to participate in this series.
Pirate character I wanted was just because I wanted a pirate. Because pirates are cool. You know?
Pirates are cool.
And for this, I had to have a dad joke somewhere. A nice cameo for weekends, and everybody else is just, oh, let me just put random characters in here. And for here, it's like, you almost imagine that there are more characters that I could have put, but after a while, it's like, well, let's just figure out what I need to do. Because I did Robert first, and then after a while, I improvised his lines, and then I focused on all the characters I had to do. I think I did 3 or 4 a night, maybe 5, depending on how short it was, because it took me a long time for each character to figure out who I wanted to do and what their outfit was going to look like based on what I have in my closet. Because most of the ones that were like a lot of the no's, those were just, okay, I'm at work, I may have 2 hours or so before I have to go to sleep and wake up the next morning, and I can only shoot this at night because of the lighting. As you can see, it's nighttime. So let me go and record this while it's quiet at this point. And just went from there. The winner! And this is just like a random guy who just wins, and it's like, oh yeah, you win because you're not just some random person with a flashy costume. You're just a normal average Robert variant character. The only thing different with Robert in this video is I have a hat. And there's anxiety. For some reason. I think this is the first time I have anxiety who is in a video like this. That is, well, besides the Christmas one. But he's in a video that is not a Persona Pals video. Kind of really pushing that envelope where he really wants to get in a video. But like just any video at this point. It's kind of like he wanted to be here, but he still was insecure about trying to raise his voice and get in. And this is like, okay, the next time there is a Persona Pal or any type of video where I can really get alone with him and voice my opinion, I'm just gonna go for it. And I'm gonna voice my opinion and really get his attention, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, I still am liking this character. Alright, this one, so take a wild guess. How do you think I came up with this video? Just take a wild guess.
Was it supposed to be Halloween themed?
Yes, because I released this on Halloween.
I see.
All right, so what do you think?
That's cute.
So the game is, how do you think I came up with this sketch?
Well, I can't hear the dialogue, but I suspect that you had these pumpkins sitting around and you decided to make them characters.
You're close. Actually, I don't think you're right on the nose. So, at work, at the Home Depot I work at, we set up Halloween super early. For some reason, you know how Halloween, everybody's like really getting ready, like late September, all October, right? We get ready in August. We get ready in August, Jason. So when it's still summer vacation, we already have Halloween up. For some reason. And that reason being marketing scams. Not marketing scams, but just marketing in general. So, I was out in the garden center working at the register, and we had pumpkins for sale. And out in these little sections, we had these little pumpkins. And we had the pumpkins you see in front of us, and two other types of pumpkins. Maybe a little bigger size, like almost like double the size, and different faces, but no hats. So at that point, it was kind of like, all right, it was about a week or two before this video had to come out, and it was like, okay, I need to come up with a Halloween video. I have no idea what I'm doing, because I need to come up with something different. And it's like, well, I could do a sequel with what I did with last year, and then I realized, no, I can't. I cannot do a sequel to the one I did last year, because I can never, ever replicate the same thing. So, it's like, oh, I see these pumpkins. So, what if so I see they're like all their little faces and all different hats. So I'm like, oh, what if these little pumpkins are having a costume party? Like a little Halloween party, you know?
Seems legit.
So I'm like, okay, let's have a little pumpkin Halloween party. And I had to make sure that all the pumpkins had like pumpkin-esque names. So you have Jack for like Jack-o'-lantern. You had Pump for pumpkin. You had Brutus, because apparently that's a name you can call a pumpkin at a pumpkin contest. Apparently one of the names is called Squash. And then I think the two girls are Sheila, and I can't remember the last girl. And then I had another guy, the last one. Yeah, I think the one in the blue hat's called Squash. And then there's like one other guy who comes in. It's like Tom. And it's like, okay, there has to be like some sort of like guy. It's like Tom. It's like the guy that like. It's almost like seeing like this had to be like, okay, like what kind of party this had to be. So it's like, oh, it's like a college party. So like, okay, this is like a college dorm party. I could have gotten more, but these were only like the 7 faces that they only had. And it's like, okay, I had to get 7 faces and make sure that each hat or wig or whatever was not the same color as each other. So that's kind of that. And I love the candy corn that I have in here, as like the candy corn represented drinks. So it almost shows like how much they've drank throughout the party at this point.
Sounds like a lot better use for candy corn than actually eating it.
Yeah, I mean, we had candy corn laying around. Well, yeah, we had candy corn around the house, and apparently, in today's day and age, I'm the only one who likes candy corn, and not many people do. And it's like, who doesn't like candy corn? It was like I was kind of like a conversation like that at work. It's like, yes, like people don't like candy corn. It's like, who the hell does not like candy corn? And me and another person were saying that we love candy corn. Yeah, that's what it was. I got the candy corn from work because it's from work, and we were like doing a little candy corn thing. So it's like, oh, candy corn. I can use this for my video. So I grabbed some of the candy corn and then used it for this. And for doing this, it's like, okay, if I'm doing this video, I am not gonna do a girl's voice. As Jason, imagine me trying to do all the female voices.
You need to keep some water nearby so that you didn't strain your voice too much, I think.
It would, but I can't go that feminine.
All right.
I don't have that feminine of a voice. So I had to ask Holly to record all the female voices for Sheila and the other one. The girl, the pink, and the girl in the yellow hair. And the song. She also has a song that she sings in here. And she sings the song, but she puts it to a tune that I had no idea what the instrumental music was. So at that point, it's just like, what do I put the music to? You know?
Yep.
So it took me hours just to find the right music to just put it all together. I don't know how I was able to do it. But I eventually did it, and I put it up there. And if you actually look online, it almost looks like I have more videos uploaded on October. And if you look through the month of November, it shows that I don't have as many uploads. It's probably because of this Halloween video. Because this Halloween was during the week I would have uploaded a new video. So I'm like, it kind of works, kind of does. So at that point, I just didn't put another video up for the week of the week of Halloween. So like, all right, that's a nice little break till my next video. And then this, it had like Robert just like, almost seems like Robert's continuing to be crazy. How he's just playing with the pumpkins because he's alone. It's still a nice touch where it's showing that I'm still crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, one day I'm gonna put a video in here where it's kind of like addressing that issue where I'm gonna have a psychiatrist in here addressing on how this guy's crazy. And now, I needed the extra time for this video after I did Halloween. So this one was after a good point after I did those rejected characters video. Some of these you would see after seeing like that character selection, Jason.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh yeah, these are some of the characters that you just seen in these videos. So this was like, oh, well, we saw how Robert selects the characters. So what is it like when one gets rejected? So I made a video where it's a circle of rejects. Kind of like on one of those like AA support group meetings, but for rejected video ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was good. I actually got to be able to come up with a reason why certain videos were rejected. and we can't hear the audio but for this one. But you don't know the names. But you get to imagine like why these people were rejected. Like I don't know why. Oh yeah, we heard I think that the father, like the handyman to the right with, you'll see later he has a hammer. He's just a guy who does dad jokes, but we never understood. We don't know why he doesn't get chosen. The businessman, we don't know why he doesn't get chosen. This guy, this person here, St. Patrick, we don't know why he's not chosen. It's just, oh yeah, I'm a guy who just has a guitar. But let's see, the train conductor. Oh no, he tells us this guy, we don't know why he was rejected. Yeah, there was like I think what, 2 of them? I think that was like maybe a mistake or a reason why. I think there's like a good couple lines where I put in here where it shows us like, oh, we are this character and we are rejected because blank. Kind of like showing the idea where, like in a support group where like it's okay to, like, I guess the idea it's like it's alright being rejected. Where, oh, like it's not really, in quotes, rejected. It's more like your idea can be improved. And this is like a good thing for writing. Wouldn't you agree, Jason?
Absolutely.
Where, like in this case, for those who could also be watching, where if you are a writer or a creator like this, where you give it like an idea that's rejected. It's not really rejected. It's just, oh, it's an idea where it may not be good for whatever, but it always can be improved to a degree to help make it so it can be better. And I like how this video kind of ends it on that note, where towards the end, the Robert who's in the Mario shirt, he gets a call back from Robert saying, oh, that he wants him back, showing that, oh, he wants to revisit the idea. Saying that, oh yeah, kind of like going in completing it full circle that, yes, you may be just not good, may not be what he wants right now, but you could always be shaped and molded to be something where you could be more useful later. And then this guy was just so far, I think, very interesting to do. Because, oh yeah, he's just the guy. This guy. Like, oh yeah, I'm just a bad juggler. Like, is that really why his reason? He's just a bad juggler? Or is there something more? I don't know. I bet there is. I bet he has some sort of dark secret that we don't know about. Like the real reason he was rejected from a video of Robert's. And I think I like it in these glasses where... Actually, I don't want to talk about that. How I made this was... I think how the position of all these guys was tricky, because when I was writing this, I had to figure out how many people I could put in here while making sure that I did not overlap. Because you see how when if you look very carefully, you can look around on the areas and you can almost see where a person can overlap on a specific area.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to try to make sure that if, like, let's say the businessman is like positioned right here, that because I had a table right in the middle where the room is, and I set up chairs all around the table, positioned in a way that if I had my camera pointing at the chair I was sitting in, it would focus on that. And when I moved to another seat, that it would not show a disillusion that there is no one there. Because I wanted to kind of continue to make people believe that we are still in a room where there are more than 8 people here. Because right now, it's like one person per frame. It's like, well, I didn't want it to bleed. Where, I don't know, I didn't want to have to go to another seat and have like an elbow be seen, like one of my elbows be shown, or some weird thing going on. And I kind of just continue that whole sector. And I think I also kept the costumes on the chairs, so I know where everybody was sitting. And I think I sat based on appearance order, or who had the most lines. Yeah, I think it was appearance order. It was like something like that. Oh, partying her up. And this guy, I really had to figure out how to make this guy do all these jokes just to make it be so annoying. Because bad jokes are fun, but they could get annoying after a while if that's just your stick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good thing I don't do fun jokes every single time, but it's fun. And now a message from Hunter and Turkey. Alright, this was a good one. This was, I was trying to think of a good Thanksgiving sketch. And for this guy, it was something along the lines where it was, well, I did a Thanksgiving sketch, and I didn't want to have a repeat of last time, where it was a all comical thing going on. So instead, I went with a whole, let's do a honest thing where these two guys who are really good friends just talk about what's going on. Oh, wait. I don't know. Just something like that. Oh, and I realized I put these in the wrong order. Whoops. Well, we could talk about this because actually in the upload it was this because during the week of Thanksgiving, but I put another video upload before this, but we could talk about that. That's my mistake.
All right.
Sorry, kids. But it's good to talk about it. It was like a nice little video where it was like another sketch where most of this was in lines. I think this was a written, like in bullet points that was written, and I think the main message was in like a full out sentence. I had to make sure that when I was doing the sentence, and if I think for a good chunk of this, whenever it was like a jump cut, that was like, okay, then I had to make sure that whatever it was straight on through and not making sure I looked down to be like, oh yeah, I'm actually looking down to show you that, oh yeah, I'm actually looking at my computer that is right in front of my face. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I got a good video. I got a good thing to talk about it. When we go on with the next one, the next sketch on Rake the Leaves, which should have been the video we would be talking about now, but maybe it's good that we're talking about the turkey one because I like it how in this one it's the turkey that is the gobbling turkey. Because Janika made a point, I'm not sure if you remember, but Janika made a point where The turkey's gobble almost sounds like a Pokemon sound. You know?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just having an allergy attack. I don't know why. I don't usually have allergies this time of year.
Could have been something that you ate.
Doubt it. Just really sniffly all of a sudden.
Could be something in the air.
Yeah, more likely.
Alright, now, this one. This was attempting to continue what I wanted to try to do for a how-to series based on the Walt Disney Goofy shorts. And it was about time where I needed to make a sequel. And for a good chunk of time, I didn't know what to make a sequel on. So, I saw it was all. And looking at all the Goofy shorts, there was not one about raking leaves. So what did I do? I made one about raking leaves in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And this was around the time where it was a day where I was doing Dungeons and Dragons. I'd run 2 games on a Sunday. And I had a plan where I was gonna do a D&D game. And then I was gonna, I think it was like from 10 to 1. And then from 1 to 3, I was gonna quickly run my video and then maybe do whatever grass I need to do. And then go do my next game. But as I'm in the middle of playing my game towards the end, I hear my dad and my brother-in-law doing the leaves in the background. It's like, oh my god, please, no, I need this video on today. So I go rushing out, telling him about this, and he was so mad. I am telling him this the last minute. And it was just, I could go on for the story, but for the sake, it was just not fun. So I told him that I needed just a small strip of land to make my video, and that's all I needed. He's like, okay, just do that, and I'll be as quick as I can. Like, if you could do the back, I'll focus on this part of the front, and I will help you work on the leaves before my next game. So I think I told you about this part of the story, right? Like
Sounds
during
familiar.
this day. I don't know, because I think I told somebody about this. But that lawnmower, this literally took forever to run, because this lawnmower is probably 10 years old, and sometimes it takes forever just to ignite and start it up. So while I'm starting it up, that was not improvised. That literally happened. So I was like, okay, I just gotta go with it. Trying to rev it up and just like, all right, I will make this a joke. Now, sometimes the mower just won't work. And I think it really played itself well. I'm not sure if you've seen this, Jason, but at that point, it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, this joke works so well that you might as well put it in.
I see.
Hey, look, it's still going. And at this point, it took forever just to make it work. And it's like, okay, let's just fast forward to the point where I finally get it to work, because it continued to not work for the longest time. And it's like, okay, now it works.
There we go. Now we got that mower started.
And during some of the audio, it's like I had to tell my dad and brother-in-law to be like, all right, guys, I'm recording right here. Can you please, pretty please, do your best? Do not be loud while I'm recording. And he's like, okay. They say this while they're opening their fire pit. cracking some fire and cooking some hot dogs on the fire. It's like, come on, guys. It was great. I had a good lunch right after filming this. And it was that point I really needed water. And Vince was like, yeah, I brought the scientist back. A nice little thing I did after that video back in October. Just bring him back. Because I needed to, right, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, it's like, yay, I did it. But did you do the back? Because my idea was, for this one, I was going to do the back. And then my point was, oh, did you do the front? But since I had to do the front first, I was like, oh, I had to reverse it. Oh, did you do the back? And it's like oh, okay. And normally for this one, I think I had like a little catchy phrase. It's like, oh, you better believe it. And it's like, I don't think nothing really deserves to just be there. It's just, let's just end it here. And now I have to see if I could come up with a third installment to this series and try to keep one, maybe one a year. I think that's a good one to try to do. It's like one every year. If I try to do more, because I think if I try to do more, it'll probably lose its touch. I feel like for these, like, it's special where I need to just keep going. And now this one. This one was, I think, recorded, right after Thanksgiving, where it was right after, it was, when was this? I was after Thanksgiving, and I was coming, as I went back to work, and I have this whole hullabaloo, where it's not Christmas until December 1st. Many people can disagree with me. I'm not sure your opinions on when normally you should start celebrating Christmas, Jason. But normally how commercials would go, it's right after that turkey goes and after that Thanksgiving Day parade and that turkey's carved, boom, Christmas starts. And everybody's getting ready for Christmas. Christmas songs start playing on like the next day. And everybody has stores are open selling their Christmas stuff and everything. But I know for us, Christmas started in like right after Halloween at Home Depot, or not even before Halloween ended. So I was living for Christmas like almost a month before Thanksgiving started. So at that point, I was fed up. And I don't know, this is like my personal opinion, so I'm like, okay, let's make a video where let's do a little thing where I show 2 ways on how people get ready for Christmas. 1, how normal people do it. And 2, this is how I do it. A little exaggerated. And the first part is just the exaggerated part, where it's kind of like you have like the decorations, the tree, decorations, carolers outside, sleigh bells outside, and then Christmas is just haunting you. It's like, oh, it's there? No, it's not. But I heard it. And then it turns around, and there it is. I know I probably got on a little tangent on there, but what do you think about the whole the argument on when Christmas should be celebrated?
Well, I guess to make a long argument short, it really comes down to a matter of preference. I don't necessarily want to hear nothing but Christmas music on the radio, even all December. So, I mean, if people want to play it during November and January, that's a little much for me in particular. But, I mean, it's really up to you to decide how you want to celebrate on a personal basis for general purposes. So there is really no should about it. People celebrate to feel good. People celebrate to show gratitude for things they love and find sacred. So it's really up to people, you know.
I mean, I don't want people to think that like, oh, I don't like celebrating Christmas. I do like celebrating Christmas. I have a thing where I normally celebrate Christmas on the first, because that's, in my opinion, that's like when Christmas actually starts, and people start celebrating like after Thanksgiving for marketing to try to get those extra Christmas sales, and that's been happening like that for more than a century, and that's like something where it has been, I think, bred within us where, oh, after this, boom, Christmas. But I mean, I guess it's fine to like maybe start getting those like Christmas decorations and all that stuff and like everything at after Thanksgiving, but I probably would agree with the Christmas songs, like maybe start doing that like December, not like Thanksgiving when I'm like still like having that like turkey feast coma after pigging out on so much turkey and stuffing, you know.
Yep.
But this little thing was really fun. I had my sister tried to throw the Christmas hat at me so many times. And for this, it's like, I hope this is scary. At the same time, it's like, I'm a bit scared myself at this and everything. And like, that's a close-up. And then you hear the record scratch. And then here it's like a little montage to Clue. It's like, that's how I get ready. How normal people get ready. And it's like so basic. And it's like, oh, yeah, just put on a hat. And there's good. Like, yeah. That's just how normal people do it. Kind of showing it's like, yeah, I'm not normal. I don't know. Yeah, Christmas, guys. Let's see, what was next? This was a sketch that was supposed to be uploaded last year after the Kids vs. Adults video, but oh. And now I present to you that very same sketch. Enjoy. This was a lie, people. This was not supposed to come out last year. This came out because I didn't have an idea. Yeah. So this was actually something where I'm not sure if you remember about that video, Jason, but I made a video called Kids vs. Adult, where I have two little trays here. So I made a video last year, if I go quickly, because this is like a good 16-minute video, so we could talk about all this here. So I made a video where it was a scientist dude, like his first appearance, or you may have seen him a couple times throughout today recording, where it was, I have these two trays, and we're gonna see who can build this Santa's tray kit better, a kid or an adult. So I took I had an adult make the one on the left, and I had the kid make the one on the right. And I kind of made like a little contest thing where I built it myself and recorded it. And I had my others, and I had my character as the scientist commentate over it. Kind of like do like a little like you know how you would watch YouTube and you may have like those Let's Players and they like have those little commentators over them playing a video game or something. It was something like that, where I was commentating over these two people and having a little contest. It's not. It wasn't. It's not what. It still is not one of my top watched videos. But the prize was this little Christmas ornament that you would make, and you would put like your kid's face in it. Something like one of those like Christmas card things you put on a tree ornament. So I'm like, huh. Well, I have this, so let me build it, and let me go and to kind of like, while I'm doing it, talk about Christmas stories. And I'll talk about like all Christmassy stories of like my childhood and anything winterish. And that's what I did. The thing I was originally supposed to paint, which would have been a totally completely different video if I actually found my thing, was a little nutcracker. Many years ago, my sister gave me a little nutcracker. It was a nutcracker Christmas ornament that was made completely out of wood that could have been painted. Somehow, during the time I needed to record this video, I couldn't find it. I searched my house like from the attic to the basement for hours. I looked high and I looked low, and I made sure that no stone was unturned. Or I left no stone unturned. That's what it is. And for a while, I was like, oh, I can't find it. So then I found this kit, and I used this kit. I still have it. It's completed. And I'm like, well, I built this. Now I'm going to paint it. And then I'm going to put some stuff on it, because it won't be a Robert thing until I paint over this, you know? And then I put some nice Christmas music. And that was a good 16-minute video. I think I trimmed it from what was originally like 40, 50 minutes of footage. Because who wants to watch me for 50 minutes? I know I don't. I bet someone does. What do you think, Jason?
I could barely stay in a room full of people for more than an hour, honestly. I tend to be pretty introverted, and I usually need a lot of recuperation time after I socialize for a bit. So, I mean, yeah, I usually don't want to watch YouTube videos for more than 15 minutes at a time. Maybe 30 if I'm really in a mood, but yeah, I don't want to watch anything for that long.
And yet you're surviving with this for an hour and 36.
I'm who you got. I'm going to do my best.
Well, you're being a good sport about it, and I really appreciate you doing this with me.
Since I am a artiste like myself, and I have done some painting videos, I thought I would take.
Anyway, so yeah. So for this, I had to do a number of takes to actually get this painted, because I don't like to paint when it's still wet, because it just doesn't look good. So I would have to tell like a quick story, paint it, and then be like, okay, I had to wait. And this is also around like, I had to do this around my work hours. So like I would do this in the morning, and then once it's dry, I'll have to come back down to do this. So like if you actually kind of look in the top corner, you can see the clock, and you can know that time has maybe passed in a weird way because the clock has changed.
Mm-hmm.
So you could kind of see that time moves. And it's one of the things I still haven't tried to figure out is if I were doing my room or sometime down here, take the clocks off. Because that just, you hear the ticking, or if you
It's not a Christmas tradition.
see somewhere, see that you see in the room that I am
Really nice. It's a little bit darker.
working on stuff.
See if we can make it a little lighter.
Like you can see that oh, you could be like, let's say like 10 o'clock. And then if you look again, it could be some other bizarre time, and you see, oh, time's passed, so it must have been like either seconds after it or like a different time clock itself. It's like, oh, it's a different hour. It's like, oh yeah, and this must be recorded a different day. It's like, I don't like to show that if I don't have to.
This hat. This hat.
I see.
Along
So
for
you can kind of see it right now, where you can see like the big hand is on the floor, so you can see, oh yeah, this is like a different time of the day.
and back in my youth.
So I'm just trying to keep the illusion that it's different takes,
Shocking. But I don't wear them as much anymore.
while also trying to continue with the whole, yeah, I'm still doing this in one sitting
These 6th graders can
while wearing a Santa hat.
follow.
At that point, I didn't care how my hair looked because
Where after,
I had a hat.
I really understood why they did it.
Unless I'm playing creativity in Persona Pals, where if it's long hair and it's parted a certain way, excuse me, I have to make sure that my hair is continually in that party position, because I may have to do rewrites and lines, like reshoots, just to make sure that I get a certain line right, or
Continue to wear my hat.
I need some extra stuff because I couldn't get it the night before, or stuff like that.
And
I think I worked
see.
too much.
with me wearing hats, I decided
I think I worked too much on these.
Okay.
But I continued to wearing it
I don't know.
only during December.
Well, I mean, doing this sort of thing is always a learning experience. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to want to refine your process over time. That's how it always is.
And wherever I went,
Yeah.
just wear a Santa hat.
Well, it's kind of like one of those things where, like, after a while, I kind of accept it.
Christmas,
And after a while, it's kind of one of those things where if I could
where I was going,
shoot something, I think that was like something where it was a major concern at the beginning.
I felt
But after a while, it came to the point where if I could shoot something where I
continually spread
don't see the clock, that's fine.
people would do it.
But if I hear it, that's okay, because
They would only do it when
it
it
still is like your idea of passes of time. And sometimes the camera barely catches it, or it gets drained out by the music.
respect.
I see.
So at the end of the day, it's fine.
And probably in these videos where
If anything, it's just one thing I'm actually working on right now with the video is I'm working on a new 3-part video series for February, and I have to do I have to do some extra lines tonight, and
continuing
my car keys were in the background, and it's like, oh, I have to go to work today. I have to try to reposition those car keys exactly how they were the other night. It's like, great. That's gonna be fun.
know that
But whatever. They're not gonna notice.
days of being with family and all that stuff is not just during
It's not like
those last
it's not like they purposely go on my videos to point out all the inaccuracies in all of them.
spread throughout. This is gonna come.
Actually, it would not be interesting. I have a video channel where you go and react to other people's channels,
Put a little
and you point out all the flaws and inaccuracies on them, and you rate the video based on the flaws and inaccuracies.
they have a lot of
Oh my goodness, Jason. Want to make a YouTube channel just doing that?
Yeah, I think that pointing out all the negative things on
No,
Other people's
it's not
work sounds-
it's not a negative thing. It's more like constructive criticism.
that I could
Oh,
get
that
behind.
door!
you know in here.
Oh, I forgot that door was open in that shot.
If I can remember all this
As long as it's helpful.
Oh,
my day.
oh, continuity.
One that me and
Whatever. My videos, so I can do whatever I want.
As long as it's within YouTube's guidelines, of course.
Oh yeah. Well, I know there's a lot of videos where, and a lot of channels where it's all like reaction videos. So I'm like, well, is there a channel where someone just corrects people?
Not that I know of.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm the guy who corrects people and gives them like corrective criticisms on help them be better in a good way, not to be mean. Let's watch their most recent video and do this. And it's like something where like they may not know it yet. It's like, oh yeah, it's this, and they may comment on it. Either that, or probably this is the most dumbest YouTube channel I've ever come up with.
You get some water. I'll be back.
All right. Let's look at that snow. Actually, fun fact, kids. What I'm trying to do, I think it's so it's most I think it's all along the line of pointillism. It's like a technique which uses individual dots of pigment, which put together makes an image. It's kind of what I did, but I mostly used it to help make snow. And I didn't have a thin enough paint bristle brush, a paintbrush to do exactly what I needed. And I just kind of did it like that, so it's like, nah, it's still snow. That's fine. My snow. And what I went on doing is just, alright, it's just that. But I know there's actually that one painting in one of the museums, I think in the Louvre. Or not the Louvre, or one of the other famous museums that has a famous pointillism that was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If you've seen it, you would know what it is. And then they did a ripoff on it on in Family Guy. That's basically a great example of a pointillism type of painting. And that one is just, oh yeah, I need snow, and I have a thin brush where I'm just going to take paint and I'm going to quickly just dab just to get the snow. If anything, if I went a little slower, I could have very carefully done it so I had thinner snow. But maybe in that snow globe they had heavy snow. Maybe. And there you have it. You have a full functioning Christmas ornament that I can now hang on my Christmas tree once I get one. And I need to make sure I could get a picture of myself to put in it, or just someone. And all those stories I told in this video are all true. Yeah, let's see. Maybe I'll get some water too. Let's take a drinky drink. You can hear it. I have some right next to me. Now I've done this before, where I know last year with my holiday videos. Not sure if I did it for the rest of the week, but I did like a nice little thing where it was towards the end of the card, I did like a nice Christmas theme. It's really nice. Now for this one, this was what I do. I think I also had like a nice Christmas thing I did at this point, where it was kind of like a year I didn't want to repeat what I did last year. So this one is like, well, I don't have a nice Christmas greeting from all my major characters from my videos, so I thought it'd be really cool to have one. Because would be really nice because I thought it was really cool, and one of my family members really liked what I did for the Thanksgiving Day one, and I thought, oh, I can repeat that for the Christmas one because most people don't really see because I kind of like going off the idea how there's only a certain way we celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving a certain way where we celebrate Thanksgiving to kind of be with family and friends that we haven't seen in a long time or don't hang out as much and just gather around and have turkey and all that stuff. And people are just like, oh, you have the football, you have the parade and all that stuff. And for Christmas, it's the same thing. And for Christmas, it's all about the marketing and the gifts and the rush. But no, it's all about family, friends, and spending time with one another and the act of giving and receiving and giving or something like that. So I wanted to do a thing where each character had a line that kind of something that you would normally see on a Christmas card. And I select them to one that best represented a certain character. Over here, like I could be using the scientist every now and then, so I put the scientist in there, just the scientist. And then you had anxiety, just as anxiety. So at that point, it's like, oh yeah, I'll put him in here because I haven't. And then here it's like, yay, he's just continuing that whole motif where we're all just celebrating Christmas and giving hope towards the new year. My one friend Janika really liked this video. I wish she was here today so we could have her talk a little bit about this. I did like this whole little motif where they're all just talking to each other and having just Weekend pop in there and screwing up everything. It was a cool little thing to add in there because there's always that one person. If you're ever trying to do a Christmas card, I know this happens in my family. If you're trying to do a Christmas card, there's always those couple of takes where someone jokes around or they always don't get it right, and then after a while, on painstaking takes and hours trying to get a camera shot, you finally get it right, and at this point, people are just tired. So it was a nice little thing towards that. And for those cookies were actually so good. Now for this, I wanted to try to continue the whole thing on Robert trying to catch Santa Claus. Because I did a video like this last year, where it was kind of like a two-part thing, where morality caught Robert trying to get a midnight snack. It was like, oh yeah, he was catching a snack, but then he had a sequel on Christmas Eve that came out where it was just continuing, oh, he wanted to catch Santa Claus, but he failed. So, this would be the sequel to that, where essentially part 2, it's like, oh, well, since I couldn't catch him last year, since I was going off to bed, and some people normally try to catch him with a camera, let's do the camera approach, where I have a bait and a tripwire with a little sound. A little bell sound, which is actually a little maraca, which, luckily enough, I had. And that's me just eating the cookies, because I had to have some sort of little eating gag during all that. Reminds me of food gag where many years ago I had a college professor who was in I was in a Shakespeare play with her, Much Ado About Nothing, or no, it was one of the Shakespeare plays. Yeah, no, it was yeah, it was like some things where I had a character where every time I was on stage, I was always eating some sort of vegetable. And
I have returned.
Oh, you've returned. Oh, we're watching a Christmas sketch. Watching me trying to catch Santa Claus.
Fun.
Yeah, I set a trap and everything. I'm waiting for. See, look. Oh, I caught something. I'm going to try to go to my camera to see who I caught. What did I catch, Jason?
Oh gosh.
This guy. So this guy, he's a character that I think this is the second time we're meeting him. So, remember back at Bergen many years ago, I had a purple morph suit? This was like back when I was helping. Well, this was like back when I was trying. Every now and then, I would help the visual effects club help promote their club to all the people, all the students at Bergen. They always had people in morph suits, kind of like going with their green screen stuff. So one day they asked me to help them. So I had to go and get a purple suit. And at that point, it was like, well, yeah, I can help you out. And for years, I still had that. And at this point, it was like, well, let me try to do some with them. So I had them in a video back in, I think the last one, the July through September videos. But I think you were with us. You were with us on that one, I think. You may not remember that guy, that purple guy, but he was in there, and I'm like, well, since I don't have a Santa Claus suit, what would be a very good character to just spring out on him that is totally unexpected? And I thought, oh, this purple guy who, yeah, actually no, you remember him. That was the guy who you gave him the name Ned.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, you gave him the name Ned. And I was thinking Ned's starting to grow on me. A little. The name's starting to grow on me. Just call him Ned. But it was kind of like one of those videos where I could talk about this quick, where I wanted to talk about I had to have a Christmas cat. I always had to have a video. I'm trying to do a trend where every Christmas Eve I want to do a video where I'm trying to catch Santa Claus. Because last year it was like, oh, I want to catch him. I failed. And my father figure morality told me to go to bed. Second time, oh, I want to catch him with a little film, with a video thing. I think next year I'm going to try like a hunting trap and see if I can catch him. Because I think that's what I originally was going for. But I kind of didn't know how to choreograph that. So I kind of just went with the basic, and what was shown here was what I did.
Alright.
But this one was just kind of one of those, close to New Year's Eve. And I had an idea for a New Year's video, but I ended up scratching it because I didn't have enough time to write it. Like, I think I was in the middle of writing it, where after a while I couldn't finish it in time to then film it, edit, and upload. So instead, I just kind of did what I did last year with talk about, the purpose on what New Year's should mean, and the true meaning of New Year's, and trying to figure out what a New Year's resolution should be. Going based on that, while I had some of the characters in the original video who I wanted to bring come in to the video. So it kind of has like some things I wanted to use in my original video, but it's kind of like something different. So it was nice to have something like that, because later you'll see I'm talking about a New Year's resolution, but then you'll see 2021 and 2020 in these videos. Like, do you think he'll keep his promise? And it's like, oh, I hope this year is good. Or it's like, do you think next year will be good? And 2020 was like, well, I hope it's better than like my year. And then like 2020 comes in and it's like, oh my gosh, guys, this year was so great. It's like, well, what happened? It's like, well, you gotta wait till 2022 to find out, or something like that. Like, you'll see them in like any second. But it's kind of like that, where like those three were originally in it, so it's like, okay, I got to bring him in to kind of do like that whole like, yeah, they're there. So yeah, they're right there. So like 2021 is here, and it's like that whole Monty where he has like the hat on, and then there's 2020, and then any second is 2022. Here's 2022. Yeah, this part was scripted. I think the other, most of it was just improvised, except for the last lines there. But yeah.
I see.
But yeah. Oh, we seem to have made it through all the way through 2021. Man, so many videos. And 4 videos to cram all the year in. I don't know, better. I could have worded that better, but I would like to thank everyone for watching these 4-part series. I would like to say that all the videos that you have seen today will be posted in the description below. So if you have not seen any of these videos in person, you go click on the links below to watch them firsthand with full audio, I will say. And you can like, comment, and heck, if you haven't subscribed already, please, pretty please do. And also, if you are subscribed, why don't you go click that notification bell to get updates every week, or right now every 2 weeks, to when I post a new video. Again, thank you all for joining us. Jason, thank you once again for joining with me today. Always appreciate it.
Happy to help.
All right. All right, let's all say goodbye.
Have a good one, folks.
All right. See you later, everyone.